Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a, very early Tuesday morning video, right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. And subscribe to this channel and my other channels as well. Do it now, because I said so. And that's that. So, subscribe to my channels, all down below. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future content on my respective channels. Don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with an exploding barbed wire baseball bat. And then, Ozzy and Satan will just pick the bones and then eat the rest of your soul. So don't do it. Go do it somewhere else. You don't like it? Tough shit. And we move on. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you need to get slapped even more because you're SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what it means, look it up. And that's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, old one. Let's, it is what it is. Not alcohol, 6 o'clock in the morning. No, we don't do that. It's like Coke, but it is what it is. But grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one, put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, too bad. That's it. Alright, now I know a lot of people are saying, why are you recording almost at 6 o'clock in the morning? Well, first of all, after Raw, I passed out. Because I was tired, I was in a lot of pain, and after I had my sensible dinner, and then I took a shower, I went to sleep. And I didn't get up till about an hour or two ago. So, plus I have to go to work, in a couple hours. So, I'm up now just recording this video because I do got a lot of videos to cover and everything. Besides this video, this video, I gotta do, all the pay-per-view reviews from Sunday, NXT, Grand Mega Bash, Forbidden Door, Slammiversary, and then get ready for NXT later tonight. So, a little bit backed up, but, I can't get every video out in such a amount of time. I'm so tired. I'm so stressed out from work and the day. It's hot. It's summertime. It's supposed to be like 85 today. It's gonna be 102 on Thursday, 100 on Friday, and then pretty much like 95 on Saturday for 4th of July weekend. It's gonna be hot, gonna be humid, and it's, it takes a toll on you. Even if you have the AC on, which I do have, but, me getting older and everything, so, it's crazy, but, yeah, so I'm kind of recording this right around 6 o'clock in the morning, so, when you see this, it'll probably be like 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'll be probably working, I'll be doing whatever I gotta do, and then I have a half day, and I go out, I got therapy later, so I got a lot of things to do, so the videos will come later today, and with a couple of pay-per-view reviews, especially the Bash, Great Mega Bash, because NXT's tonight. I'll try to get Slammiversary tonight as well, and then we'll do, tomorrow we'll do, Wednesday we'll do Forbidden Door, get you ready for Dynamite that night. Should be a great show from San Diego, California. The aftermath of that show, as we're on the road to Redemption, our next pay-per-view for AEW at the end of July. And, that's that. But I hope you had a great Monday, and I hope you have a great Tuesday, the final day of June, the final day of the first half of The Price is Right. We got No, I'm sorry, the first half of the year. We start the second half of the year tomorrow, July 1st. So, hopefully, your second half is as good as your first half, or the second half will be way better than the first half of the year. And for me personally, I hope the second half is way better than the first half, because it was wild, it was crazy, and not as good as I thought, but hopefully the second half will bring happiness and all that other good stuff. But, we move on with that. And we're closer and closer to 4th of July weekend, and summer has started, second week of summer, so it's gonna get hot, so it's the good time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen, especially here in the Northeast. And wherever you may be, if it's hot, just stay cool, drink whatever, stay cool, stay hydrated. And if you go to the beach, wear some suntan lotion, don't stay out too long in the sun, or go in the ocean, stay in the ocean for a little while. Have fun, just watch out for the rip currents and all that other shit. But as we get to July and the dog days of August, where probably get hotter, who knows. But sun's going to be going down a little bit earlier as we get into July, as we get into August. So, right now we're at June 30th, 2026. Sun goes down about 8:30 or so. And then gets dark right before 9 o'clock still. So, but by the time we hit Labor Day weekend, it's going to get dark by around, I would say about 7:30, 8 o'clock here in the Northeast. So, the summer is kicking into gear, but by the time we hit the midpoint, which is basically August, before we hit Labor Day weekend, goes downhill, and then the temperatures will start going downhill too. And then by November, we turn the clock back, and dark becomes 5 o'clock. So back to, back to normal as we get to the fall and the winter. And hopefully this coming winter isn't bad like this winter we got earlier this year with like 3 straight blizzards. It was insane. But they're saying a warm winter. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, we had from 2020 up till last year, we had pretty good winters. Warm-ish, not too warm, but at that, not many snowstorms. But last year, this like January, February, we got hit with blizzards. It was insane. 20, 30 inches here in New York City. Crazy. Hopefully we won't get that come December and going into 2027. That's pretty much it. But anyway, enough about that. No more meteorologist Peter, but some people love that, but it is what it is. But I hope you have a great Tuesday coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, be safe, be well, and I hope your second half of The Price is Right is better than the first half of The Price is Right. I mean, the first half of the year, but it is what it is. That's that. Alright, as we end the first half of the year, June 30th, 2026, thank you for watching right here on the Killer Demons channel. My name is Peter Joseph. I am your gracious host. I am a content creator to talk about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, weather, sports, whatever you want to be. But if you like it, great. You don't, get out. That's it. But you stay because you got nothing else to do for 9+ minutes. But I digress. Alright, after 9 minutes of spiel which you clipped and nobody gives 2 fucks what you think, it is time for your Monday Night Raw review for last night, excuse me, June 29th, 2026. Coming off Night of Champions, which was like this. Not that bad. But it is what it is, and that's that. Alright, so we're on the road now to, well, a couple events. We got Saturday's main event coming up. 2 weeks from Saturday in the Garden, the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, July the 18th. Then, pretty much 3 weeks after that, the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, or as Bret Hart would call it, the SummerSlam, event, night 1 and night 2 from Minneapolis, Minnesota, August 1st and 2nd. Alright, this particular episode of Raw, pretty good. We have our king, we have our queen, which is Oba, Femi, and the queen, Io. And we already know Io is going to take on Liv Morgan for the Raw World Championship. But who will Oba face? Will it be Roman? Will it be Sami Zayn? We'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more on Monday Night Raw. So, we are emanating from the Boardwalk Hall in the first time in many years for Monday Night Raw. So, we are from the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Right on the boardwalk, baby. I think AEW did a show here, but I could be wrong. But anyway, as always, our commentary team, once again, they had a long week and a long weekend. Because they did Raw, they did SmackDown, they did Night of Champions. Now, back to Raw in the span of a week. The legendary Michael Cole and Corey Slave. Surprisingly, they still have their voices left. Go figure that one out. And we move on with that. Alright, so like I said, we're done with Night of Champions. Now we're on the road to SummerSlam. But we gotta make a pit stop in New York City. It's July 18th. So 2 weeks from Saturday night's main event. And that's that. Alright, we open the show, as always, with a long as fuck pay-per-view recap. Pretty much capped off by the shocking victory by Sami Zayn, getting his long-awaited WWE World Undisputed title win over Cody and Walter. We'll talk about Walter in a little bit, but Sami is the WWE champion, and we'll see where he goes from here. They already taped SmackDown. We'll see that Friday 2-hour show. Haven't seen spoilers yet, so I might be surprised, but we'll see what happens with that. And if you hear anything outside, it's the garbage man pick up the garbage. Because they come like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning here in the Northeast on usually Tuesday and Friday morning. So if you hear it, you hear it. That's that. And like I said, I am recording this like around 6 o'clock in the morning because, I'm crazy. But, so after this, I'm going to take a quick nap, get back up, and then do my job. I work, some of you don't, because you're on here 24/7, you don't sleep. But I digress. I sleep. I slept from like 10 p.m. to like 4:30 p.m. 4:30 a.m., excuse me. I've been up for like an hour and a half. So, but I'm going to go back to sleep, because I wanted to get up, have a, grab something to drink, and maybe grab a little snack, and then, that's pretty much it. So I'm like, oh, Peter's doing a 6 o'clock in the morning video, he didn't sleep all night. Yeah, I did sleep. So, you can't prove I didn't sleep, so kiss my ass. And we move on. Alright, so after the recap, the lights go out, and we start the show properly with the king of the ring. Well, the man from Wakanda. And his name is Oba. So, the Buddha, Destroyer, the Bringer of War, and all his 6,999 catchphrases that he has. Oba, Femi, he comes out, the king, with his crown. Fans in Atlantic City are chanting his name. They can't get enough of the ruler. And Oba appreciates that. But that's fit for a ruler. Now, let's do that again. But this time, give me a reaction fit for a king. So they do Oba. Do that again. So then Oba says, Lady Destiny is not done with me. And a choice has to be made, so he's about to make his choice between Roman and Sami, but then this guy comes out, we haven't seen him, pretty much since Backlash, and that's Brock Lesnar. He comes out with, hey, they found him in Italy, Paul Heyman. So they come out to interrupt, and garbage man just passed. Better take my garbage. Shit. Anyway, so Brock and Paul Heyman come out, and Ober is like, oh, really? This guy came back. His once-in-a-lifetime return to Raw. So they get in the ring. Brock says, hi, I'm Brock Lesnar. He doesn't, have Heyman do anything. So Brock says that while I don't watch the show, I know that being king of the ring is an accomplishment since he won it in 2002. So then, Brock says, oh, Paul has told me a lot about what you've been saying lately. You know, you had a big decision to make. Maybe I can help you with that. And Brock's like, I understand that you called me a coward, a bitch, while I was on hiatus. And Paul said that Oba is he cuts one hell of a promo, and and he's like, I could never do that, which is why I got Paul around. Okay. And then they pretty much square up, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a fight. Oh shit. Get the National Guard. So Brock's like, as the saying goes, talk shit, get hit, boom, right in the nuts. So Brock kicks Oba in his balls, not the anal beads he has on his freaking neck. So kicked Oba right in the balls, picks him up, F5, leaves Oba laying momentarily, because you know how Oba no-sells almost everything. So then they go onto the ring, about to head to the back, and he was like, oh, that was a great promo. That was great. So they go to leave. Oba barely picks up his balls, basically. Gets on the mic and says, hey, Brock, get back here. He says, you think you can do that to me? You're still a bitch. So then he's like, okay, that's it. That's it. We're gonna fight one more time. So how about me and you, round 3, in a tree at SummerSlam to settle the score and finish the feud, basically. So Brock and Paul stop near the top of the ramp, or the top of the stage, ramp, whatever you want to call it. Brock turns around, gets the mic from Paul, and says, you want me at SummerSlam? You got it. But I'm gonna one-up you there, Oba. And I'm like, uh-oh, what now? So Brock's like, alright, SummerSlam, Minneapolis, Minnesota, his hometown. Brock's like, Oba, one more time. Me, you, Hell in a Cell. I'm like, shit! No, he just did not say Hell in a Cell. I was like, I'm like, holy shit. This is going to end violently. I wouldn't be surprised if we see blood. I mean, a lot of blood. This is the only way they can finish it, is Hell in a Cell. So Heyman's like, what? Brock? What? Heyman's even like, what the fuck? You said Hell in a Cell? I mean, watch my short on my Peter Joseph page, how my reaction to that shit. I was like, what? That is definitely main eventing night 1. Now, is Oba going to be on night 2? Probably not. Why? We'll get to that later. But this match screams main event night 1. It is going to be epic. And really, you got to give it to WWE. They pulled a fast one on us, because we all thought Oba was going to choose Roman. I mean, he still technically could. But, I mean, now, WWE just pulled the pulled a bait and switch. You know, it's like, oh, Oba is not gonna be taking on Roman, because I read a story on Ringside News saying that Oba is not going to use his King of the Ring crown and get a instant title shot at SummerSlam. No. Oh, Io gets her shot, but Oba, no. We need to finish the story. You know, finish the story, Jordan. Finish the story. They're going to finish the story at SummerSlam Night 1. That means Roman has nobody to face for Night 2. Or so we thought. But we'll get to that later, because we're going to hear from the Tribal Chief later on at the end of the show. But, man, what a start to Monday Night Raw. And I gave that segment 3.5 out of 5 stars. Epic. So, it is official. And later on, well, after the segment, they kind of made it official. Pierce makes it official. Blah, blah, blah. So, Night 1 main event. Brock, Oba, 3 in a tree. Well, not in a tree per se, but round 3, Hell in a Cell. Oh, it's going to be barbaric. I would not be surprised if they break the cage or they go up on top of the cage. I wouldn't be surprised with that. I'm like, go up to the top of the cage and kill yourself. Why not? Hey, Mick Foley did it. Right, Mick? Oh, he did it! I jumped off the cage. No, you got thrown off the cage by The Undertaker. And lived to tell about it, thankfully. Anything else to say about that? No, you have a nice day. Okay, bye. Probably one of the most scariest moments I have seen. Mick Foley getting thrown off the fucking top of the Hell in a Cell to pretty much his death, and he survived. Even Undertaker would tell you that story. He's like, time, like, froze. He didn't even like, oh my god, how could he survive that? And then Mick, being the crazy fuck that he is, goes back up the cage, and then he gets choke slammed through the fucking cage. I'm like, any real man would probably be dead. Getting thrown off at least a 20-foot Hell in a Cell cage, and landing on basically the floor. I mean, he went through a table, but yeah, the announce table broke. Jim Ross is going, back out, Almighty! They broke him in half! You know? They killed him! That's what I said. I'm watching it, my friends are like, holy shit! He's dead! Me and my friends are going completely berserk at my friend's house. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, he's dead! Show's over! And one of my friends, being a big Undertaker mark, like I was, we're like, I'm looking at him like, what did you do? What did you do? You killed the guy. And then when Mick goes up the cage, I'm like, this guy's a nut. And they're fighting on the cage, and I'm like, Mick's gonna die. I look at my friends, I'm like, he's gonna die. I mean, he is legit going to die. And then he gets choke slammed through the ring. We're like, oh, it can't get any worse. I'm like, stay down. The show's over. The show's over. We've seen live murder here. One of my favorite matches of all time. I mean, that's Attitude Era fucking shit. I loved it. Probably the best Hell in a Cell ever. I mean, you could go through the history of Hell in a Cell, but that one takes the cake. And you thought Shawn Michaels Undertaker was good? I mean, that was the start. But when Taker threw Mick off the top of the cage, then through the cage, I was like, nothing's better than this. And then there's been the one horrible Hell in a Cell. I think we all know what that one is. Seth and Bray Wyatt. How does that end in a DQ? I don't know. That's dumb booking for WWE. That's the PG era fucking shit. Just because, like, Seth Rollins was going to use a wrench or some shit on Bray Wyatt. And then the ref was like, no! No, the match is over! I'm like, what? What? I'm like, I mean, I think it was last year or so, we got Drew and Punk, that bloody mess that it was. It was good. Not as great as Taker Mick Foley, but still. Good. Now we're going to get Oba and Brock. They better reinforce the cage. I mean, really reinforce it. But then again, you got two big beefy men slapping meat in that ring. I don't even think the cage can hold them. I mean, physically it can't hold them. That cage is gonna break apart. It's gonna be insane. But we have that. Alright, after that, we get a recap of what we just saw. And then we see Paul Heyman in the back meets up with Adam Pearce. Saying, oh, the match was just given to me. Imagine all the t-shirts, right? So Paul's like, we have the biggest match of all time in the main event of night 1, because it ain't gonna be night, it should be night 2, but, most likely to put night 1, because I gotta put Roman on night 2. Against whoever, I got that. And then, out of nowhere, Austin Theory, the only member left of the Vision, since Braun Breaker got his ass handed to him by Seth Rollins in the cage, busted wide open, destroyed. You know, Bronson Reed's on his way back. I don't know when he's coming back. Maybe at SummerSlam, we'll see, but... And then Logan Paul still nursing his little bicep injury. So Vision is pretty much disintegrated. So Austin Theory comes in and says, Hey Paul, thanks for letting me know you're back. I didn't know you were back. You know, I got a match coming up. Coming up with Joe Hendry. Like, I didn't know you were back. And Heyman's like, well, now you know. Then he left. I'm like, oh, the Vision is done. Basically, Heyman's gonna go out with Austin Theory and Logan Paul. I don't know. I don't even think Paul's gonna come out with a Vision anymore. The Vision is done. It's blown up. It's done. Dead. Pretty much. We get that. So Heyman goes off. Pierce goes to talk to Oba, who still pissed. And he's like, I may be the king. The titles will still be there. But I will get that title shot later. Which pretty much means the King of the Ring crown didn't mean shit to him. And guess what pay-per-views after SummerSlam? Money in the Bank. So dare I say, they put Oba in. Oba gets Money in the Bank. So he gets technically you will get 2 title shots. Because the King of the Ring crown, like, he'll win Money in the Bank. They're like, oh yeah, I get a title shot. But I get another title shot. Kind of makes no sense, but I don't know. So basically, the King of the Ring crown didn't mean shit to Oba. He's like, okay, Oba's a monster. We're not going to let him face Roman yet, which is, I think, is a good thing. They don't let him face Roman until maybe down the line, maybe by... I still said Oba Roman should meet up at Mania. That screams Mania. Doesn't scream Royal Rumble per se, but if Roman does lose the title, he should lose it to Oba at WrestleMania 43. I hate saying it because I know Issa's going to hear it. She's not going to care, but she knows Roman's not going to be a long-term champ. We're not going to get 3 more years. I mean, I would love 3, 4, 5, 6 more years of Roman as champ. But, I mean, right now, we're pretty much on month 3. We're getting close to like 80-something days with Roman, so... Almost 90 days. So, Roman's almost gonna hit 100. And more. I think, I would think the cap would probably be maybe 365. Maybe he loses on day 365 of his reign. But we'll see. But yeah. So Oba and Brock is official. So but Oba's like, you know, I'm still the king. I will get my title shots later. I mean, they can still swerve us And then, Oba fights on night 2 against Roman and whoever. I mean, we'll see. We'll see over pretty much the next 4.5 weeks. Because we're 4.5 weeks away till SummerSlam anyway, so. We got a long road to go. That's that. Alright, so that segment I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. Now, we finally get to the wrestling action. It's a little less talk and a lot more action on Monday Night Raw. So we get to All Ego, Ethan Page to the post. Takes on Rey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka. Wasn't a great match. Under 11 minutes. Rey picked up the pace to start. Knocks Ethan down. Gets caught up top. Ethan then stomps away in the tree of woo! And then a backbreaker on the turnbuckle. Ow. We got a break. Come right back. Rey tries a sunset flip, which resulted in Ethan punching the mat by mistake. Ow. And then Ethan sent outside for the sliding splash. He was safe. And then Rey with some right hands on the inside of the ring. A reverse sit-out powerbomb gives Ethan a near fall. And a big boot for the same. Rey comes right back. Grabs a Super Conrana, which sets up to 619. Then, here goes up top. Thinks he's Eddie Guerrero. Hits that frog splash. I know you don't like it. Why is he doing that stupid frog splash? It looks like a piece of shit. He does it really bad. He doesn't have that, he doesn't thrust his legs out like I do, S.A. Pedro. Because I'm the king of the frog splash. I know, Eddie. You're the king. You're the best. I know I'm the best. I'm Eddie Guerrero. Pero, okay. Rey Mysterio's a pendejo. He would never beat me. He kind of did. We don't talk about that. Okay. Sorry. So, Rey gets the win over Ethan in under 11 minutes. Match was meh. 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then the Judgment Day, pretty much all of them, well, except for maybe Roxanne and Raquel. But we see Dom, Eddie's son, Dominic Guerrero, and JD McShocked, still technically kind of shocked. They go into Mr. Danhausen's lab and search for their money that Mr. Danhausen stole, and then they steal, some type of big plaque that the Knicks gave him. So, like, oh, we got revenge, yay! And then we see Dom later on with, Mr. Danhausen's, jersey that the Knicks gave him. So they're trying to get uncursed. They're trying to kind of get away from Danhausen after he pretty much shocked JD McDumpfuck. Liv, technically cursed. Dom's having a little bit of trouble. Not much, but he defended the Triple R Mega Championship this past weekend in Mexico. Because he is the king of the luchadors, and Eddie was proud, right, Eddie? I was very proud of my son. He defended the title, no problem. No problem at all. Well, he might have a problem with whoever he faces at Triple Mania, probably be El Grande Americano, because he has that, he's using that Money in the Bank sword, or whatever. It won't matter, he'll lose anyway. Alright, probably. Well, we'll see. We'll see in September for night 1 and 2 of Triple Mania. That's September September the 10th and September the 11th and 13th, something like that. We'll see what happens with that. Alright. So we move on with that. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then, it's time for Say His Name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry comes out for a concert with his special guest, the Street Profits, the new Raw Tag Team Champions. They're all happy. The Street Profits are happy with their win last week over Braun and Austin Theory, thanks to Joe Hendry and Seth Rollins. So Montez Ford thanks the fans for always believing in them. They thank Seth Rollins, called last week's win a beautiful song. And that goes into a song by Joe Hendry Kind of like the Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? So something to that effect, but he changed the lyrics up a little bit. And he sings about how we have new tag team champions, how pathetic the division is. Then Austin Theory comes out, thank the Lord. Shut him up. Calls the Prophet Thieves. Found out a rematch for the tag team titles is set for next week. Prophet's like, alright. But is Braun Breaker going to be around since he pretty much got destroyed at inside the cage by Mr. Seth Rollins? Are we going to get the dog, or are we going to get the little puppy that got beat up in a cage? So we got that, and then Theory wants to face Joe Hendry right here, right now. So Joe's like, alright. So we get a referee, but before that, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the match in progress, which didn't even last that long. 3.5 minutes. Did I say 3.5 minutes? Anyway, so Joe fights out of trouble, was in trouble, fights up with the hit single, which is a discus lariat. And then Corey Grace wants to know who declared that a hit. Well, not Billboard per se, but anyway. Then he gets in a big forearm for a near fall. Then he hits the last shot. Why is everybody using Adam Cole Bebe's move? Shotzi hit it. Who else hit it? Well, Theory. I think it was Maya World hit it. A lot of people have been using the last shot. Adam Cole's, sitting back playing Twitch. Not really giving a fuck. But somebody's going to eventually tell him on Twitch, Hey, Chugs, that guy Adam, some people are using his finisher, the last shot. You know what Adam Cole's going to say? Baby! That's what he's going to say. He's going to be flattered. Everybody's using my move, baby! Anyway. Alright, so here's stat for a near fall. Socialistic Joe only to charge into the side effect. 1, 2, 3. He wins with that. I didn't even give 2 fucks about this match. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Joe Hendry gets the win. Nobody cared. And that's that. Alright. Then we go to the back. Raquel Rodriguez is getting ready. She complains. Well, doesn't get ready. She complains to Adam Pearce about something. She's like, I want Maxine Dupree. And Pearce like, alright. You got Maxine Dupree later on. So Pearce leaves, and then Roxanne Perez and the Raw Women's Champion, Liv Morgan, she's trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and say it once, say it twice, and I'll give it to you all night. Da. Bite me. Okay. Rosa loves that song, by the way. I don't know why, but she's going crazy singing that song. I'm going crazy singing that song. It is what it is. So Liv and Roxanne come in. Liv goes on about her problems as of late being cursed by Danhausen. But Raquel says, I got your back. Don't worry about EO. Don't worry about anything. I got your back. And just Roxanne's just there sitting looking pretty. Nothing with Roxanne. Roxanne's like, yeah, gonna be here. I'm just gonna stand here looking pretty. For Drake Moreau, my boyfriend, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna stand here looking pretty, and Drake's gonna jerk off. I don't know what she sees in that guy. Must be the swamp water right there, Roxanne. Should get with a real man. Let's say. A little bit young for me, but I could work with it. She's 24, 25 years old, something like that. She's a young chick. I'll break her off. Sorry. Moving on. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then it's time for the queen of the ring. My girl, my third amazingly hot Asian wife. No, she's not married to Evil. She has been legally married for many years to me, and that's... Let's do it. Eeyo! So the queen comes out, my dick gets hard, it explodes on cue. Ugh, better clean up my house after that. So Io gets in the ring, grateful to be back in the States with the crown. So she's celebrating, doing the Io. stuff. And then we hear Liv Morgan come out. We got some trouble, ladies and gentlemen. So Liv comes out. She is pissed, obviously. She's tired of hearing from Io. Promises to retain her title at SummerSlam. Nope. Where she will remain the greatest women's champion of all time. Took like 10 seconds. Could have went longer. But she doesn't have that. I don't know if she has the breath for it. But I digress. So she says that. But until then, Io is in big trouble. And then we see Raquel and Roxanne kind of surround her, Shield style. But Io takes care of them semi-easily. But the numbers game kicks up to Io. Liv goes for Oblivion. It gets countered. Io grabs a German suplex, knocking her down. Then a big kick to the head by Io. Looks to set up over the moonsault. But Raquel gets on the apron. And pretty much puts Io in the tree of whoa! Then they work on the bad leg that Io suffered on Saturday. After, jumping over the rope and then slamming her leg on the, she jumped, boom, ay, my leg! Kind of jamming her leg on the, when she flipped over the ropes right onto the steps. And then Liv from there, put in the hair crab, but somehow, someway, Io still won. So anyway, they go after the bad knee, and Liv cranks on that knee with the hair crab again. And then 10 minutes later, there's nobody's gonna come out and help Io. Io has no friends right now. Kairi's gone. Asuka back to Japan with her family and me. Take that back. Well, she's with me. Kairi's with me. She has nobody. Io has no friends. Mommy Ripley's on the shelf right now, hanging out with her husband in Australia, Buddy Murphy. Yes, nobody. Nobody's gonna come out and help Io. So Io just gets destroyed. And then, 10 minutes later, referees and agents come out to break it up. Yeah, too little, too late for that. Alright, so we got the build to the rematch at SummerSlam, which is official. I don't know what night is gonna be. I would probably put it on night 2. Because, I heard that Liv is gonna recreate her WrestleMania entrance at SummerSlam. That should be nice. So we got that. But whatever night it is, it's gonna be good. I still think Io's gonna beat Liv again because Judgment Day's breaking up as it is. The curse of Danhausen is gonna really be in effect. So, and I think Roxanne Perez will cost Liv at SummerSlam. And then we'll have a Liv, Roxanne Perez feud going into September. We move on with that. Alright, so Io gets beat up, and we'll see what happens next week. And that's that. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we're going to recap of Eli Drake. That's not an insult. That's a fact of life. Yeah. Pretty much getting help from Solo last week on Raw, and then he goes up to Solo on SmackDown, and pretty much turned down Solo's offer of teaming up with him. So we get that. Then after that, we get a rematch from SmackDown, Eli versus Jimmy Uso with Jay on commentary. And Eli goes out to yell at him a little bit, and Jay's like, oh, get inside, dog, blah, blah, blah. It was a great match, lasted under 12 minutes. Finally starts, Eli grabs a basic headlock into an armbar, and then he stomps Jimmy in the corner, running shot, gets a near fall. Jimmy comes back with an Enzuigiri, high cross body for a near fall. Then the suicide dive. He's happy. He's high-fiving Jay. He's high-fiving Cole. Cody Graves don't give a fuck, really, but whatever. We go to break, come back. Eli strikes away. Then a jumping neck breaker out of the corner. Goes for something off the top rope, missed. Jimmy hits a spear for a near fall. Goes for the Superfly splash. It gets countered as Eli runs the corner from the top rope superplex, almost like Shelton Benjamin. Big crash, so we get a double down. And then Eli takes out Jay on the outside. hits his jumping top rope elbow, not like the Macho Man. Ooh, yeah, get. Because, Eli can't hit it like Randy does it, right, Randy? You'll never hit it like the Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. Okay. You okay? Okay. I'm okay. Thank you. So Jay then offers a distraction. Jimmy grabs a fruit roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Jimmy gets the win back. So, 1-1 there. And, that's pretty much it. And then after the match, we get a beat down. We pretty much get a beat down on Eli, and then Solo, he has tickets. He comes in for the save. And then Eli comes right back with the BFT, I believe, to Jimmy. And that was it. So we could see a tag team match on SmackDown with the Usos taking on Solo and Eli, which kind of looks weird, but the enemy, my enemy is my friend. So Solo and Eli in a tag team? I didn't think we ever see that, especially with when Eli was going after Roman and the Bloodline, even Solo was there at one point. Crazy. Full circle. We get that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so I get that match 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get a look back at Walter and Nick Aldis' altercation after Night of Champions. Get into that shoving match. Cursing and everything. Get your fucking hands off me! So we found out from Michael Cole and Corey Slade that Nick Aldis and Walter have been sent home, and Nick Aldis is on administrative leave, so for now, Adam Pearce is running both shows. Oh, good luck with that, Adam Pearce. But this is pretty much leading to Nick Aldis coming back to wrestle Walter at SummerSlam, and probably being retired. Coming out of semi-retirement to officially get retired. So, Walter will annihilate Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis would go home, bang Mickie James, have another few kids with her, who knows. What's he gonna do at home? Nothing, right? He's gonna sit home doing nothing when you got Mickie James as your wife? I mean, come on now. You got Mickie James there, I mean, come on. Hardcore country! They probably live in hardcore country! They live in Virginia, I mean, come on now. Or as we say, Virginia. Or Virginia, whatever. Alright, so we got that. So, most likely we'll hear from Pearce and Walter, probably in about a week or two. And then Aldous like, I'm coming out, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm tired of this shit. Aldous like, alright. You want a match? You put your GM position on the line, and then you put your career on the line. So, probably after SummerSlam, we're gonna get a new SmackDown GM. Who is it? I don't know, and I don't care. I'd rather it be either Stephanie McMahon or Teddy Long, but Teddy Long's old. Stephanie, we could get Steph back. I love that. Hi, Steph. We move on. That's that. Alright, then in the back, Jey Uso. He's talking with Jimmy. And then Jacob Fatu, he comes in and the Uso's like, hey, Jacob, where you been all night? And Jacob's like, I've been hanging with the OTC. He says the same basic thing he said on last week. He says, I've been hanging with the OTC, and I don't need, I'm not doing your dirty work. It's like, I don't answer to you, Jimmy, and I certainly don't answer to your punk ass, Jay. Shit. So Jay wants to face Sammy since Sammy's not doing anything on SummerSlam. So, yeah. So, Cody, you might get your rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event, lose, and then what's Cody gonna do at SummerSlam? That kind of makes some sense, but anyway. So Jacob's there, he's off to, he says, I'm gonna go to SmackDown and handle the business for the OTC, and then Jimmy's like, group text! I want to know. I want to be in that group text. I want to know what's going on and what's being said. So, to be a fly on the wall in that group text. And that's pretty much it. Alright, moving on from that. Alright, 3 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get a video for Laila Valkyria Dalasi Bitch from Ireland. She looks different. I mean, without her makeup, she looks like Nikki Cross. So, like, what? I had to do a double take. Wait, it can't be Laila Valkyria. Looks like Nikki Cross. Anyway, Lyra's not sure why people are getting on her for turning on Bayley. Give me a hug. Last week, and she said the anger got the better of me one time, but it's not gonna let her down. She wants to bring Bayley up with her. Never meant to hurt her, but last week felt so good, just because she got to close the gap. What does that mean? I have no idea. But I expect Bayley to get her revenge. Probably next week. We may see a match between them. Maybe at Saturday's main event. Maybe at SummerSlam. Do I want to see it? Not really. But we get that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we see Maxine Dupri. Walking in the back, getting ready for her match with Raquel. She passes by Chad Gable, thank you! And, Chad's getting ready for his match with, Austin Theory, I believe. So Maxine passes Chad, getting ready. She stops, goes back over to him, and she says, you know what, last week I said a lot of things. I still meant what I say, but I'm sorry, I handled it wrong. You know, and Chad's like, you know what, it isn't necessary, you don't owe me an apology, but I wish you luck in your match. That's it. She leaves. That was up. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get to Maxine and Raquel. 3-minute match. Did I say 3 minutes? Pretty much. So, it's also with Maxine. Had to do some Matrix-type moves. Avoid an early big boot. Then they go to the floor. Raquel pulls her down by her hair. Hits a slingshot jackhammer. Damn. Ouch. And then some back and forth elbows in the corner have Maxine in big trouble. And then Maxine picks her up, grabs a torture rack. Surprised Maxine did not tap or give up. That gets broken up. And then Raquel hits a big clothesline, drops Maxine. But Maxine somehow got up, took the straps off. She is pissed. But then Raquel's like, alright, okay, alright, I ain't fucking around now. So Maxine tries for another kick, and she counters that into the Tejana Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Raquel wins the match over Maxine in, like I said, over 3 minutes. That was it. Bing, bang, boom, good night. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we move on for that. Alright, so we shall move on, hopefully. So, later on, she's in the back, she's in the back, and then Austin Theory comes in and says, hey, what was that with Chad Gable? I thought we had a thing going on here. And Maxine's like, Theory's like, you know what? I don't need you. So, I'm like, wait a minute. Did Theory just dump Maxine? And all this time, I thought they were fucking in the back. Well, I guess the fucking's over. I guess Theory had his fill, It's like, I'm done with you, bitch. I'm gonna go on to the next one. Maxine was just like, It was like a meal getting passed down the assembly line, you know what I mean? It's over here, fuck. Sent to the scrap heap. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright. We move on with that. Alright, so, that's that. Alright, after that, Mr. Danhausen, I will curse you. He's back in his lab, finds it ruined, thanks to the Judgment Day, and finds out that his gift from the Knicks, that little plaque, is missing. And then Nick Morgan comes in, and Mr. Danhausen's like, "It was you, Getty!" Accuses Liv of all this. Liv says it was pretty much everybody in the Judgment Day. She wants the money back, and the curse lifted. And then she's like, "You better lift this curse." And then she goes, and then her hair hits Danhausen right in the face. Danhausen's like, "Ow!" Then he's checking to make sure everything's okay. I think there's some like banana peels and garbage on the floor. So we'll see what happens with that. But it looks like I think Mr. Danhausen is going to come back and pretty much curse the entire Judgment Day. So JD McDumpfuck, you know, still gonna be cursed. Liv is gonna get really cursed, and Raquel pretty much is gonna get cursed. And well, Roxanne's kind of like the only one that probably won't be cursed. And then Dom will eventually lose his Triple R Mega Championship to El Grande Americano at Triple Mania. So Judgment Day will be gone in a span of about 2 months or so. And that's it. Alright, then we get to Chad Gable and JD McDumpfuck with Dominic Mysterio at ringside in the stolen Knicks jersey for Mr. Danhausen. So, pretty good match. 11.5 minutes. They fight over wrist control, technical control. JD works on the arm. Gable fights up, grabs a backdrop into an arm drag, puts JD in trouble. And then Dom has to save JD McDumpfuck from the ankle lock. And then JD uses that distraction, sends Gable into the ring steps. Ow. As we're going to break. We come back. Gable rolls into some German suplexes, followed by the rolling Liger kicks in the corner. Big execution Thunder Liger. JD comes back with a standing Spanish fly for a near fall. Perfectly he did that. Joe Maximo loved it. But I digress. Gable rolls him up for another near fall. Then a bleed buster gives JD McDumpfuck a near fall. Gable then suplexes him into the corner. Ow. Then he locks in the ankle lock. Momentarily, Gable goes up top where Dom offers a distraction, which leads to JD hitting a super Spanish fly perfectly. And almost got the winks because Cole's like, Gable's knocked out! But somehow JD kicked out at 2. Gable kicked out at 2. And then Mr. Danhausen comes out with a briefcase full of money, obviously. And he's like, "What? I got the money! And then Dom goes after Mr. Danhausen momentarily. And then inside the ring, Gable grabs the ankle lock with a grapevine, and JD tapped out immediately. And then Gable was favoring his hamstring, so hopefully, it's nothing. He's not going to be out for like a month or something like that, but yeah, things happen. But Gable gets the win over JD McDumpfuck. Match was actually pretty good, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Dom comes back, and they go to open the briefcase, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be booby trapped. Boom! Big pile of cocaine flies out from the suitcase, probably a fake money. And then Mr. Danhausen comes back, steals back his Knicks jersey. He's like, I got it back. So he's like right near the entrance, and then Raquel Rodriguez shows up and knocks him down, takes back the jersey, and then Mr. Danhausen disappears. So this whole thing with Danhausen and the Judgment Day, then you throw in The Miz, Kit Wilson, and Matt fucking Cardona. It's like weird. And on top of that, Los Lobos, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Everybody's going after Danhausen right now. Crazy. It is what it is. That's that. Alright, after that, like I mentioned, Austin Theory walks up to Maxine. And Theory's like, Theory didn't like what she said to Chad Gable. And if Maxine wants to go back down that road with Chad Gable, maybe, him and her talking in the back and fucking in the back ain't gonna be, not working for me, bro. I want you exclusively with me. I don't want you going over to Chad Gable and, getting his sloppy seconds or whatever. So then Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa come in and ask if she's okay. Maxine's like, I don't know. Then she just left on her own. So, we'll see. So it looks like Maxine might be having you know what? Maybe I should take his apology. And we get that. Moving on. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get to the final segment of the night of Monday Night Raw. Put up your ones, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledge your World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. He comes out with Jacob Fatu. Gets in the ring. He's like, Atlantic City, acknowledge me. And Atlantic City does what it's told. They acknowledge him. And then Seth freaking Rollins comes out. Comes out, Black Neo. Because he's dressed like Neo from The Matrix. They get in the ring. Roman did not want him there. So after a long time, Rollins says, hello, my brother. Was this freaking, Empire Strikes Back? Hello, Luke. I am your father. No! So, Seth's like, we've been tied together for 14 years, and Roman, you have something that belongs to me, and it's time to collect. So Roman's like, collect, right, okay, right. So Roman's like, what do you mean, brother? You're the back of the line. But then Rollins says, I own you no matter what, because you haven't beat me, technically. Then he lists all the times he's been one step ahead of Roman over the years, even bringing up WrestleMania 31. And the chair shot heard around the world with the breakup of the Shield. So Seth's like, Roman, you may be as great as the people think you are, but you've never beaten me. And this might be your last chance to do this because, we used to come through the crowd together. We made the WWE our own. Basically, back in 2012. Now there's a new generation ready to come in and pass us by and everything. And take over. So this might be our last dance. Praises Roman a little bit, says, Roman, you're one of the best ever, future Hall of Famer, you think. And he says, you should have your own Hall of Fame. I might be there to induct you. Probably be him, and maybe they get Mox, but I doubt that, but anyway. And Seth's like, if you don't accept my challenge at SummerSlam, you're never gonna escape my shadow. So Roman finally talks and says, you know what? That's the first time you actually said something that's truthful there, Seth. In a long time. Where he's like, it's like, I don't have to beat you. I need to beat you. So he's like, I accept the match. So we got, at SummerSlam, Seth Rollins versus Roman. I think they did it before at SummerSlam, and Roman won by chicanery because of DQ. I don't know if it was a DQ or whatever it was. But, anyway, so the match is set for the world title. So, another swerve. So, Roman was going to either face Oba on night 2, which was originally going to happen, Now he's facing Seth freaking Rollins, which I thought would have been maybe after Roman beats Oba at SummerSlam. Maybe that'll go into September or October. But, like I said before, WWE saying, we don't care about the King of the Ring crown. That don't matter to the Oba. Oba don't need that. Well, Oba's going to get his title shot anyway, which means he's going to beat Brock inside Hell in a Cell, maybe retire Brock for good. We won't see Brock. Maybe, God forbid, he's gone for the rest of this year, and then he makes a surprise appearance at the Rumble. I mean, technically he could do that if he wanted to, but I doubt we might see Brock after Hell in a Cell. And that's that. And then from there, we go to Money in the Bank in September. I think Oba will qualify for Money in the Bank, win Money in the Bank on top of being King of the Ring. And then Roman's gonna have to look over his shoulder a little bit, along with Sami Zayn, whoever is a SmackDown champion by WrestleMania. So they're gonna have to look over their shoulder, and that big, huge shadow is gonna be behind Sami, behind Roman, behind whoever is the champion. Because Oba can cash in at any given time if he wants to. He don't even have to cash in like normal. He can just say, I'm just going to cash in. He doesn't need a referee. He'll just come out on Raw or SmackDown and say, you know what? I'm cashing in at Royal Rumble. I'm cashing in at Mania 43. You don't have to do the traditional, I'm going to come out when a champion is down, bring out a referee, tease for like a month. So we got that. So Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. I think Roman retains. He's finally gonna beat Seth. Get him out of his misery. Put him out of his misery. Finally beat him. The shadow of Seth Rollins will be gone from Roman's memory. And then Roman goes on. Maybe he defends at Money in the Bank. Maybe not. I mean, we'll see. I don't know if there's a pay-per-view in October, but I think Roman will go away for a little bit, come back for, definitely come back for the Survivor Series, because he'll probably be in some type of War Games match with him, Jacob, the Usos. Yeah, probably either a 4-on-4 to get a 5-on-5. I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe Solo joins up with Roman. I doubt it, but then again, who did he face? They gotta do some type of match. And Roman's gonna be in it, but who do they face? What faction is gonna come out and face Roman's bloodline? I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But good segment, 3.5 out of 5 stars. So, now we're on the road to Saturday Night's Main Event, and we got our 3 matches for SummerSlam. So, good job, Hunter. So, we gotta get at least 8 matches on night 1, 8 matches on night 2. So, we got 3 right now, so we got about 13 matches to go. Who knows, but the big 3, Io and Liv, Oba and Brock, main event night 1, inside Hell in a Cell, and night 2 main event now has been made, Seth Roman for the World Heavyweight title. And, that's pretty much it. So, card looks pretty, I think, night 1, main event sells itself. Night 1 is going to be, even if the rest of the card is shit, Brock and Oba are going to, pop that night off. That match itself is going to be a 5-star classic. And then you got Seth and Roman, which could be a good, not 5 stars, I would say 4.5 maybe, but depends how it is, but that sells night 2. And then you got Io and Liv, great, going to be a great match, you can put it on night 1 or 2. And then other matches I think could happen, Jade and Charlotte, definitely. That's 4 matches. Other than that, maybe the Intercontinental title is on the gets defended. Pentagon defends against somebody. Tag team titles will probably be on the line. Both tag team titles, the Profits will face somebody. Maybe Poppy Priest and Truth are fighting War Machine on SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a title change there. I haven't read the spoilers yet, but I do believe, I would think that War Machine is going to get the SmackDown Tag Team titles and still have the Triple A Tag Team titles, and then they'll probably lose them at Triple Mania. Who knows? Or maybe at the show in August, on August 30th, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens between now and August 30th, and then Triple Mania after that. So we got that. I would think Sol Ruka's going to face probably Raquel Rodriguez at SummerSlam for the Women's Intercontinental title. Tiffy Tiff is going to face probably Chelsea Green when Chelsea turns on Tiffy. So Tiffy will face Chelsea Green at SummerSlam for the Women's Intercontinental title. And then, I think that's pretty much it. Might get some individual matches here and there with the feuds that'll be going on. But it looks like SummerSlam could be pretty damn good. I think night 1 is going to be amazing. Night 2, I mean, we'll see what all the matches are there. But Roman and Seth to close out the show, I think should be good. And that's probably going to make, it's definitely going to make all Lockdown and All In, it's pretty much going to give those pay-per-views a run for their money. Then you got NXT Heatwave the same day as All In. Same thing with the Triple R show. And, WWE basically trying to compete with AEW on the same day. Didn't work yesterday. Because the match was good, not great. Forbidden Door blew them out of the water. And blew pretty much Slammiversary out of the water. I mean, the last 4 matches of Forbidden Door were epic. Epic. But we'll talk about Forbidden Door probably later today. Probably later this evening before we get to NXT, and that's pretty much it. But as of right now, Raw, I thought it was pretty good. And I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think of the show down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. That's that. Alright guys, I'm going to go take a quickie nap, and then I will be getting up in a couple hours, a little bit, to do my job. And then, after that, I'm going to go out to physical therapy, and then I'll be back later this afternoon with your NXT Great American Bash review. And if I have some time, we'll do Forbidden Door as well on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. So stay tuned. Please hit that bell so you don't miss it. And then we'll get to NXT. We'll talk about NXT later tomorrow, as I do have some errands to run tomorrow. I'll be pretty much out all day tomorrow. I do have to go to the doctor. So I'm off tomorrow for work. So I'm off tomorrow. Back in on Thursday. Off for 4th of July weekend. And then back to work on Monday for all you kiddies out there. And that's that. Not the kids, I meant you fuckers out there. I should say fuckers, not kiddies. But you act like kids, but it is what it is. But anyway, so work today, off tomorrow, work Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 4th of July weekend is going to be great. Not doing anything, going to enjoy myself. I got an event on Saturday to go to. Mrs. and me going to an event on Saturday. Sunday, we're just gonna chill. Friday night, we're not really doing anything. We're just gonna chill Friday. But Saturday, yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff on Saturday for July 4th weekend. Don't forget the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest on Saturday. So if you're going there, get there early. And it's going to be a big, huge beach day. So everybody's going to be in pretty much on Coney. If you're in Coney Island that day, it's going to be insane. Hot dog eating contest. You got the beach all day. A couple events around on the boardwalk or around the area. Going to be a long day. Got fireworks that night as well. I think Friday night we got fireworks at around 9:30. Then Saturday night, obviously July 4th weekend, we got the Macy's fireworks display. And then if you're in Brooklyn, we got, you got fireworks going off pretty much all the way to like 4 a.m. So, by the time you go home and go to sleep, you'll be hearing fireworks all fucking night. It's crazy. So, even during the day, there's gonna be fireworks going off. Not the big booming ones you see, but, maybe some M80s go off here and there, but as soon as it gets dark, like around 9:05, 9:15, that's when the real fireworks go off, and it's gonna last for a while. Even going into Sunday and even past Sunday, I mean, it doesn't stop. We hear fireworks all the way until, New Year's Eve. Past New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, too. It doesn't end. I mean, it could be like a regular day in September or October, and next thing you know, boom, boom, boom. Like, what the hell? I thought 4th of July was over. You're outside, you see this big flash, like, what the fuck? It's not thunder. And then you go look outside and you see fireworks going off. Maybe somebody's having a party or something like that. I don't know. It's weird living in New York sometimes, and anywhere, really. But we got that. But enjoy your Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go take a nap, and I'm going to do my job, and then go to physical therapy get my knee worked on, my foot. We get that. Also, I forgot. I'm off the rest of the week. Today's my last day. I forgot, because tomorrow I got to go to the doctor. I got to get an MRI on my foot on Thursday, so I'm off the rest of the day on Thursday. And then Friday, pretty much. I might go in on Friday. Might do some stuff on Friday. I gotta check. Might get some emails from my boss like, "Hey, do this." I'm like, God damn it! I want to do it. This 4th of July weekend. But I get paid. I'm getting paid. I don't care. Even if I do an hour or two of work, I'm done. I mean, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid handsomely too. So I'm gonna have fun. And that money pretty much goes to what I'm going to be doing on July 4th weekend with the missus, so. And probably July 5th, but what it is. But enjoy your day, be safe, be well. It's going to be hot here in the Northeast today. 85 degrees in the shade, but that's a precursor of what Wednesday through Sunday is going to be. Might get some rain today, but I think they said Thursday might be on and off thunder boomers. Friday, spot thunderstorms. Saturday, definitely because of the heat. So, some afternoon thunderstorms, but it's not going to be a total washout for your 4th of July weekend. Then it's going to get a little cooler as we get into the first official week of July. And so, that 102 we're getting on Thursday compares to nothing on Monday when it's, 80 degrees and a little bit of rain. But it's going to cool off pretty much by the weekend and getting into Monday. And that's pretty much it. So enjoy it. Go to the beach while you can, because before you know it, the summer will be over. And that's around Labor Day weekend here in the Northeast and around the world. But we got that. So we got about, we got 4.5 weeks till August 1st. So you add. But we got about 8 weeks till left of unofficially of summer. So Labor Day is in about 8 weeks. About 8-9 weeks. And then the fall starts in about 10 weeks. So 10-11 weeks, the summer will be officially over, and then we'll begin the great season of fall. And then right around the corner, we got Halloween coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Turn the clocks back, so it gets cooler. And before you know it, the winter is here. And like I said, hopefully here in the Northeast, we do not get a really bad winter with like 3 or 4 blizzards. And even blizzards back to back. That was insane. And I remember that well, because right after, the week after Valentine's Day, it snowed like crazy. And, thankfully, I cleaned all of it out. Me and the missus had to really dig out for right after, right near the end of February, going into the first couple of weeks of March. It was a lot of snow, and then it really melt until like right near the end of March, early April. So now, don't have to worry about that. No, now we just have to worry about the heat and the electric bill. That's it. Not so much the heat bill, but I mean the gas bill. We got to worry about the electric bill because we're cranking that AC for pretty much the next couple months. So that we can pay it, even if it's like $200. But usually my electric bill is not that high, so maybe at most it gets like $150 a month. But it's whatever. I don't care. My bills are not that much. My new internet bill, not that much. Rich Man's Cable, not that much. So I'm good to go for the rest of the year, and I know the bills are gonna go up a little bit as we hit 2027, but it's gonna be a little bit dicey as we get to the fall and getting into the winter, but should be okay. I don't really have any problems, with money. I got a lot of money in the bank, so for the bills and for concerts and I will be getting new merch pretty soon. Don't know when, but I will be getting it because Maria put out some new stuff on her website yesterday. Special video. Oh, can't wait! I can't wait for this new video coming out from a Maria Brink cosplayer. She looks just like Maria. Oh, I'm in love. Forget her. Oh, she looks great as Maria. She played Lady D from Resident Evil 8 as well. Wow, she is an amazing cosplayer. But she's got a new music video coming out July 4th. I see it July 3rd because there's a time difference. So I am happy for that. I cannot wait for the music video. I might even put it up on my social media so you can all see it. It's going to be amazing. It's called Only Blood. I wonder why. Because she's cosplaying Maria in her blood years. With the whole, basically the blood costumes from the Blood Tour and everything. Good stuff. But can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. Can't wait for 4th of July weekend. It's going to be an amazing time. But we're going to get there eventually. It's only Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So, have a taco on me. But I digress on that. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will be going to work pretty soon. And I'll be back later today. Right on the Peter Joseph channel with your official Great American Bash review. And, if we have some time, Forbidden Door review as we get to NXT, the aftermath of the Bash, as we are now on the road to Heatwave, which is at the end on August 30th. But we might have some pit stops to make before then. But we got that. So, we'll see what happens with my cousin, Tony D, still the champ. Amazingly still the champ over Evil. And we'll see what happens with the new women's champion, Kendall Gray. And everything else on NXT tonight at 8 p.m. on the great station of the CW11. Should be a great show. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So a couple more videos coming your way today. Hit that bell and all that other good shit. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.